Your cat already owns the house, right? I've seen that play out in client homes more times than I can count, where a beautiful room gets taken over by scratching, litter clutter, and one very smug nap spot. The good news is, a cat room can look intentional and still work hard. We're counting down 20 ideas that balance style, storage, and real cat behavior, so you can build a space that feels calm for you and irresistible for them. I'm starting with the floating shelf highway because it sounds fun, but I've watched cats ignore a pretty wall if the landings are too narrow. You need 10 to 12 inches of depth, staggered heights, and a clear run between jumps. Otherwise, it's just expensive decor with claw marks. A sunny window perch works because cats want the warm spot, not just the view. I've had clients install a gorgeous ledge, then forget the radiator or drafty glass underneath. Put the perch where morning light lands, and keep the seat at least 12 inches wide, so the cat can sprawl without half hanging off. The enclosed catio earns its spot because it solves the biggest trade-off: fresh air without the escape risk. Honestly, the thing nobody tells you is you need hardware cloth, not chicken wire, and a floor that drains. I've seen beautiful catios fail fast when rain puddles or one weak latch shows up. A floor-to-ceiling climbing wall looks dramatic, but the real win is giving the cat a vertical route that doesn't steal your sofa arms. I like mixing sisal posts, short ledges, and one resting platform every 4 to 5 feet. If everything is slick or too far apart, the cat just picks the couch anyway. Hidden litter box cabinets rank here because they fix sightlines, smell, and the whole awkward conversation around where the box lives. I've built enough of these to know the vent holes matter more than the pretty door. Give it a 24 by 18 inch interior minimum, or you're just boxing in a problem. Wall-mounted cat hammocks look simple, but they only work when the bracket hits studs and the fabric doesn't sag too much. I've seen cheap versions tilt after a month. Keep the hammock low enough for a confident hop and use a washable canvas or felt that won't hold fur like crazy. A dedicated cat playroom sounds indulgent, but it's the easiest way to stop toys from spreading through the whole house. The trick is zoning. One corner for climbing, one for scratching, one for naps. I'd rather see a modest spare bedroom done well than a giant room with random cat stuff everywhere. I keep putting built-in bookshelf cat nooks near the lower shelves, not the top, because cats actually use the route they can claim without a leap of faith. Leave 14 to 16 inches of clear cubby height, line it with plywood, and you avoid the sagging carpet pad mistake I see all the time. A reading corner works when the cat bed sits inside the traffic pattern, not off to the side like an afterthought. I like a 30-inch bench depth with a low lamp and a scratchable ottoman nearby, because cats want your warmth and your routine. Too much plush though, and the fur never really leaves. Fresh cat grass sounds simple, but the real trick is drainage. I've had clients ruin a tray in a week because water pooled under the roots and turned the whole station sour. A shallow ceramic planter with a lift-out liner keeps it clean, and the grass gives indoor cats a safe nibble spot. An elevated feeding nook saves your back and keeps the bowls out of the dog's path, but the height matters more than people think. I usually land around 4 to 6 inches off the floor for most adult cats. Go too high and you'll see whisker irritation, or a cat that just stops using it. A ceiling rope bridge looks fun, and honestly, it is, but it only works if the anchors are into framing, not just drywall screws from a weekend project. I've seen one sag half an inch, and the cat refused it forever. Keep the spans tight, and you get real vertical play without cluttering the floor. Rustic wood cat trees look great until the base gets too light. Then the whole thing wobbles every time the cat launches off it. I like reclaimed wood with a wide plywood core hidden underneath because you get that chunky look without the tip-over problem. Sisal-wrapped posts hold up better than fabric, too. Under the stairs is where I hide the ugly stuff. Litter, spare bags, even the vacuum dock. But the cat still needs a clean, low-stress entry. A 24-inch door opening and a quiet exhaust fan make a huge difference. Skip the fancy trim if it steals headroom, because cats notice that immediately. I'd put the Scandinavian Cat Furniture set here because it looks clean, but honestly, it can feel a little too polite if your cat is a scratcher. I've seen cheap faux wood legs wobble after a month, so I always look for solid birch, hidden seams, and replaceable sisal panels. That keeps the room calm without looking like pet store clutter. A cat-themed gallery wall lands here because it solves the blank wall problem without stealing floor space. The trick is scale, not just cute prints. I've watched people hang tiny frames too high, and it ends up feeling like a scrapbook. Keep the center at about 57 inches. Mix 8x10s and 11x14s, and leave breathing room for the room to feel finished. That radiator perch sits this low because cats are weirdly loyal to warm spots, and a good one uses heat that's already there. I like models with a metal hook and a washable cover, not the floppy fabric hammocks that sag after a season. Just check clearance too, because I've seen curtains and cords get too close for comfort. In a small apartment, vertical cat space earns its spot because floor space is already spoken for. I've had clients try to squeeze in another chair and, well, the cat still wins. Wall-mounted steps, a 12-inch deep shelf, and a climbing route that avoids the TV make the room feel bigger and keep the traffic flow sane. That Boho macrame swing corner ranks high because it gives you movement, texture, and a real focal point in one small footprint. But I'm picky here, since I've seen cheap ropes stretch and twist after a few weeks. Go for a ceiling joist anchor, a rigid seat insert, and at least 18 inches of clear swing space. The screened porch wins because it gives your cat real sun, breeze, and a safe view of the world, which is basically cat television. I've seen indoor cats calm down fast with a perch like this, especially if the flooring is cool tile and the ledge sits 16 to 20 inches off the ground. Just use UV-safe screening and easy clean cushions. That's the full countdown. And honestly, the best cat roos are the ones that make daily life easier without looking like a pet store. If you've got a favorite idea, hit like, subscribe for more smart home design, and visit OmniHomeIdeas.com for more room-by-room inspiration and practical resources. Brad Smith and the Omni Home Ideas team will see you in the next one with a few more ideas your cat will probably claim before you do.